Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. Attorney Ron Irwin's book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. Author Larry Buford's book, To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. Roll it, Tony.
Campus Cops, starring LaRita Shelby.
Whew. I got a half-hour reprieve. He's on the John. I had to check the bowl for frogmen before he'd sit down.
How much of his lunch are we supposed to eat?
While we're out here risking our lives opening letter bombs, eating poison, and looking down toilets, where's Royce? To think I was coming here to apologize to you. Royce, you've done some low things, but taking my cake really takes the cake.
To you, this is just a white satin 3-layer coconut dream cake with cream cheese carnations. But to me, it's a career.
Royce, you've become obsessed. I'm doing this for your own good. Hand it over.
Give it, sister.
Stuck in the flour.
First guest today is a longtime friend. She and I have worked on numerous projects. She's a very special lady. She acts, sings on radio and screens. She's a screenwriter, producer, journalist, and oh yeah, she's a businesswoman. Please welcome, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, the jazzy, the fabulous LaRita Shelby. LaRita, thank you so much.
Thank
He's
you.
Show some pictures. Did you show the pictures? He showed the pictures. Wow. It was a hard decision. I had to go through tons and tons of film, of pictures of you. I want that one, but no, I don't want that one because it was interesting.
Yeah, I only put the good ones out there.
There's so many good ones out there.
There's some
My
redacted
God.
photos.
All I have to say is welcome, welcome, welcome to the Actor's Choice. I believe this is your third time on the show, and it's the first time at our new studios as you look around.
Yes,
I really like our new studios.
I love it. Thank you.
Uptown now,
Thank you.
uptown
Yes,
now, uptown.
We are. Thank you.
So what do you got to say for yourself, madam?
Oh my goodness, I am here. I'm virus free. I wash my hands.
Speaking of virus and washing your hands, as everyone knows, I always have roses for our female guests. And today, when I ran over there to get the roses, they were closed.
Staying
I went,
home.
What? What is this? What have you done to me? I said, this is LaRita. The
virtual roses now. So
virtual roses.
Thank you.
All right. Nashville, huh?
Yeah, you went all the way back, didn't you?
Oh, yes,
Just
ma'am.
all the way back.
Well, it's only 5 years, 6 years?
I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, and I remember being a little girl living across from Tennessee State University with me and my mom. I remember my dad visiting us. Yeah, I later learned about Wilma Rudolph.
Yes.
But many years later, after living such a wonderful life, I was curious about what happened to my father. And in that quest, I found a treasured piece of history revealing my connection to Tennessee State University. My daddy was a groundskeeper there, but my great uncle was the president there for 20 years and built it into a multi-million-dollar institution.
Wow.
Yes, the late Dr. Walter Davis,
Wow.
Sr.
Yeah, she's gone now, but I remember one time it was the Image Awards, and she had got her award in her hand. I'm standing next to Wilma Rudolph.
Oh, the track star, the
Yes.
legendary track star, yes.
And she wanted to do. She said, "Can you hold this for me?" Oh, yes, ma'am. I'll be glad to hold it.
A lot
I
of
just looked
history
at it.
there.
A lot of history.
They're in need of great support now. They
Yes.
suffered $20 million in damage because of the recent hurricane.
Hurricane. Wow.
Yeah. But I'm proud. Look, I'm a city girl on the outside and a southern girl at heart. So,
Go on, girl.
yes.
Make some good Southern food. Rita, you've heard this before. What made you get into acting?
You know, I was born into the industry. My mother was a musician, a gospel musician. I had aunts who were talented writers, and one of my aunts was a producer of plays in Washington, D.C.
Right.
And I just popped out of the womb knowing that I wanted to be an entertainer. And so years later, here I am, still entertaining, sometimes myself, but here I am.
So let's go back in time in your career. The year was 1987. You played the role of Diana, a theater threat. That's what they said, not me.
Teacher's threat. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a typo somewhere, not on your end,
oh,
but teacher's threat.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So what was that like, the first role?
Yeah, so that was my first guest starring role, and I really wanted to thank my agent, Raphael Burko. I was with Media, I am still with Media Artist, but it was a budding agency, and there was a lot of hands-on support and really pushing the talent out there. So they got me the audition, and out of that came my first guest starring role, and I played Martin Lawrence's first girlfriend on television in that episode. And I played with, I think, the late Ed Bernard was my father.
Yes.
But now an interesting point to note is that I had been an extra on that show about a year or so before. See, I grew up just believing that all things were possible and not listening to any of the naysayers. And in Hollywood, they say, oh, if you've been an extra, you will never star in a show. Woo, 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 don't do that. I got the audition, read for the producers, and they were like, you look familiar. I'm like, you do too. Got the role, and so that was a breakout role. That was a long time ago, but my gosh, it was an honor to work with legends such as Martin Lawrence and Ken Sagoes and Ernie Thomas. So,
Okay. But there was those doggone auditions that you have to go through.
oh yes, the
Yes.
auditions, and but you know what though? I mean, I don't lament them in any ways, especially nowadays, because back in those days when an actor had an audition, he or she had an opportunity to get before real live people and present your energy in the room. And sometimes that's really what it boiled down to. If you had two performers, who could really cultivate the energy in the room, leave that room bubbling over in laughter or tears or whatever. And now the upside of digital technology is that we can see a lot more people. However, it's very difficult to finally get to the point where you can engage with a real live person even to get a role.
Speaking of getting roles, you got to know people in this town. And over the years, you have learned
Yes.
with your personality, with the way you carry yourself. Lady, a lot of people love you in this town.
Well, I thank you for that, but
Yes.
let me demystify that. There are associates,
Yes.
there are friends,
Yes.
there are allies, and there are people who will kick the door down for you. Now that I am transitioning more into writing and producing, I can tell you right now, there are people on Facebook that I know who I cannot get on the phone, who I've worked with before, who I greatly admire,
Yeah, it gets
who
that
I
way.
cannot get on the phone. If they saw me in public, they'd go, oh, hello. So, but you take that in stride.
Yeah.
It's a point of awareness, but you have to keep an open heart and keep the faith that whoever is for you is going to be for you. And if they're not able to be your advocate at that time, bless them and then welcome the opportunity for whoever that next stranger is going to be, who's going to be a blessing to you, or if you can recultivate a relationship that you once had in the industry.
Well, let's go from one question because it's very simple. As you look back, please tell us about the most treasured memories of working in Hollywood.
The most treasured memories of working in Hollywood. Okay, I'll try to be succinct because that's a big one. There'll be two. Just one in general is because of having been in a movie, which we're going to talk about a little later on, understanding the transcendent nature of what we do. You could have been in a role, big or small, 10, 15, or 20 years ago, and then meeting with people who remember the lines from that movie or from that television show. So that's an esoteric answer and overall. And the other one is very specific. For 7 years, a little known fact is that I was a broadcaster on the Armed Forces Television and Radio Services Network,
Thank
and
you.
I commend you and thank you all for your service. However, I was on the air during Desert Storm, and I was blessed to travel to the Far East shortly thereafter to meet with fans and enlisted service men and women on the bases. I met a man in Japan who was very, very shy. At an autograph session, he wanted to give me his cap. And I'm like, who are you? Do you want my picture? No. Well, can I sign an autograph? No. I want to give you this cap that I wore in Desert Storm, and I just wanted to say thank you. I'm like, you're thanking me? You were out there. He says, no, we want to thank you because me and my boys would skip dinner in Saudi to get back to the tent to listen to you on the radio. You meant that much to me. So that was my greatest moment. Wow. Not a moment for me, but a moment as an opportunity to be in service as a performer, as a radio broadcaster, as someone who uses their gifts to encourage and raise awareness and consciousness.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell me thank you. I tell you thank you. Because remember that TV show with Robbins in it, Good Morning Vietnam?
Yes.
That did a lot for AFRTS, Armed Forces Radio, for a lot, because a lot of people didn't know what they were because they're all out of the country. It's just for the military tropes.
Yes.
But it was a good job.
That was in honor of a serviceman named Adrian Croner.
Adrian Croner, yes.
I've been doing my research, and I've actually written a stage play about my days as a radio broadcaster, because like you, I was a hidden figure in this great mission of ours, and I want to make sure that that story is told, so I'm going to tell it myself.
Thank you, thank you. That role you were talking about, it was a film that folks always remember you for this one. They called it South Central.
Yes.
Can you show me one of those pictures? There's that picture. Look at that picture there. Look at that. South Central. As folks know, they don't call it South Central anymore. They dropped that name. But back in those days, they call it South Central.
Oh, I think a lot of people still call it South Central, but okay.
Yeah, legally they call it that. There's that other here. Now, here's the picture. Here's the next picture. Look at that picture. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. I remember that night. We were acting, and I was like, the baby, I'm taking the baby to the club. Yeah, the baby. I'm like, people don't take the baby to the club. No, you're taking the baby to the club. But another little known fact is that we suffered from bad timing with that movie. The movie came out shortly after the LA uprising. And there was a lot of prejudgment about the movie and about the nature of the story. And if I can just keep it 100, like the young people say, it was assumed that some white people just decided, we're going to make this hood movie to capitalize over the black people. And so we're not going to support this movie. How dare they do this here movie? Well, they did not know that the movie came about because there was an African-American instructor by the name of Donald Bakir who taught at Washington High School, who was greatly disgruntled at the amount of lives that were lost each and every year. He put black on black crime, mind you. He put that into a book called Crips. He shot that movie around. He met a man who claimed to be Native American named Steve Anderson. Mm-hmm. And Steve Anderson, coupled with Oliver Stone, made that movie possible. So when the movie hit video and cable, and they saw that it was a movie about self-love, self-empowerment, then there was this, we love that movie. So it has stood the test of time. It could have done a lot more commercially for all of us in the movie, making us instant stars and all that. But the quality of the project has sustained, and that's more than money can buy.
Right. That fellow, would you please tell people who that actor was?
Yes, Glenn Plummer. Glenn Plummer.
Yes.
O.G. Bobby Johnson. There have been songs written about O.G. Bobby Johnson. There's Facebook pages about it. So it's truly a cult classic, and I'm grateful to have played a part in a film that didn't just glorify the ills of any society of a community,
yes,
but it offered solutions.
Wow. Tony, we got a short film of that. How long ago did that movie come out?
You know what? That was 27 years ago.
Wow.
We had the 25th anniversary screening at Cal State LA because Donald Bakir's daughter, Amina Bakir, is a filmmaker, and we all got together. And
there it is. There it is. He brought it up. Okay, there we go. If you can go back just a little bit, there we go. Okay. All right. Because of time, I'm seeing we got just a few minutes left. There's a lot of things we want to get out there on you. Quickly, if you would, what are your greatest rewards you've gotten since you've been in this business?
Oh my goodness, I can tell you one that just happened a couple of days ago. Because again, I'm about demystifying it. Let's tell the truth.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of glamorous aspects to our business. You get to go places, meet stars, act out your dreams. But there are a lot of dark days. For every role that an actor has received, there's a great number of rejection. And I received rejection just a few days ago on something that really could have been a game changer. And I had to ask myself, what am I going to do? Am I going to sink, or am I going to stand up and keep on fighting? And I got an email from a young lady that I offered to mentor a year ago. And she said, Miss Shelby, she knew nothing about this rejection that I had just experienced, right? And she says, you know, I really want to thank you, and I see you, and me and my family appreciate who you are and how you want to help the children, the young people. And when Hollywood is not ringing my phone, when I'm not acting as much as I would like to, for 8 years, I've been doing a drama therapy program at a level 14 lockdown psychiatric facility for teens. So I teach them about acting and the history of theater, and I have lots of fun. And I go to the places where the stars won't have the time to go. And I believe that that is my absolute greatest work. But I will couple that with the other projects that I do have on the table. I'm shopping 5 screenplays right now. And in those screenplays, and 2 of them were roles for the late Shanae Dubois, was a role for the late Diane Carroll. And if you look at the clips that were shown, I want to say Hollywood, for many of our legends, we're remembering them for work they did 25 or 30 years ago. What does that say? It says they're not working now. It says that we don't have a present time and place for them now. To see their greatest work, we have to look behind them. And I'm in a fight now that my greatest work will not be just behind me. It will be a combination of what was then and what is now, and it will lay the groundwork for what is to come.
Wow. Amen. Amen, my dear. Other people that we've lost, B. Smith.
Yes.
John Witherspoon.
Yes.
A.K.A.
Yes.
Spoon.
Yes.
We've lost some good people out
Yes.
here, definitely. Okay, we just got a little bit of time left. Here's a couple of pictures that have meant a lot to you. Remember when you did Dad? Can you give us that? Yeah,
Let's
Dad.
see, Dad Speak.
Yeah, Dad Speaks, yes.
Yes, yes. Can I talk about it?
Please.
The photo? Okay.
Please.
So thank you to Sandra Evers Manley and Films with a Purpose. I wrote a book about the quest for my father. It was a 40-year journey. We live in a society where in many cultures, mothers and also fathers kind of drop out of children's lives, and we never knew why. Some is for good reason, and some is just, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. So I wrote the long version of the story in my book, On My Father's Side, a true and miraculous story of a father and a daughter and their 40-year journey to reunite.
Yes.
After I told my story, Ron, I had so many men who kind of leaned in and said, well, you know, I got a child out there too, and I wonder what happened. And I really hope that my daughter, wherever she is, knows that I love her. I really hope that my son knows that I fought to be in his life.
Wow.
And I was so empowered by the stories of these men that I wanted to create a short film to give them an opportunity to speak.
Got you. Honoring Shirley Chisholm.
Yes, yes. I mean, I started off 2020 playing Shirley Chisholm, the great Shirley Chisholm
Yes.
from Brooklyn, New York,
Brookline,
1974, who
yes.
made a run for the presidency,
Yes.
thanks to Erica Cohen, the
Yes.
writer and producer, and Zadia Ife, a director of the stage show Unsung Sheroes. And that show is available. If you're interested in it, hit me up and I can put you in touch with the powers that be.
Okay. All right. You and Lee Bailey.
Lee Bailey.
Okay. Lee
Oh
Bailey.
my God. Lee Bailey has been in my life so long. What a blessing. Lee Bailey heard me on the radio shortly after I got out of college. And as a blessing, a great blessing to me, I have been a part of his companies from Radioscope to EURweb.com, home of everything urban and Radioscope. That's our new slogan. But it's an online digital platform. And I'm very blessed to still be a part of that brand.
Yes, that voice.
Yes, and the voice.
voice.
Thank you, Lee Bailey. Everybody knows Lee
Everybody
Baylor.
knows Lee
Hi
Baylor.
there. Hello there. Ron Brewington, LaRita Shelby. That's Lee. That's how I answer the phone all the time.
That's right.
But radio,
yes,
the
radio.
foundations of radio in our community is important.
From 1990 to 1997, you worked as a radio personality, a former radio personality for AFRTS. Here's a picture of you and some other guys doing some stuff. There you go.
Oh, that was an naval base at the
Sasebo.
the southern tip of Japan.
Yes.
Sasebo.
Yes.
And
I've been there.
I took it all in stride. And the reason I wanted to write this play was to really tell that story because the guys used to tell me, oh, LaRita, this is really big.
Right.
Now, for those of you who don't know about AFRTS,
Right.
the military has television and radio outfits across the entire planet.
Yes.
And Ron Brewington and myself and other broadcasters have been a part of that. And I did get to travel and meet many of the soldiers and sailors and airmen and women all over. So that story is coming to the stage somehow, some way.
Right, because I know right now you are very much involved in some AFRTS for a union, something like that.
Yes, well, I'm very passionate because here's what I really want. When we think of military broadcasters, more often than not, again, we think of the legends. And we're not taking anything away from the legendary Bob Hope and Colonel Tom Parker and all of those. But since then, there's a legion of broadcasters, known and unknown, who've been a part of not only carrying forth command information and carrying out the mission, but creating the imprint for Americana across the world. And I see our military broadcasters as ambassadors, as global communications ambassadors. And when the time is right, I want to take that initiative all the way to Washington. When the time is right. Please vote. I'm LaRita Shelby, and I approve this message.
All I got to say is one thing. Go Navy. Go Navy. Rita and Willie Daniels, you guys had a CD out called A Date with a Song. There's a picture of it right there.
Yes. You know what? Oh, that's such a sentimental topic because there's not one week that goes by that someone doesn't approach me about our music. And but life sometimes just really gets in the way. You can create the music. Nowadays, everybody's I'm an independent artist. Oh, I got my own label. Yeah, that means you're doing everything.
Right.
And how long can one or two people do everything? But here's the thing, newsflash. The music that Willie Daniels and I created is now available. We were one of the first projects to be picked up by what was then the Genome Project, which became Pandora, which is now something else. So you can ask Echo or Siri or Alexa to play Rita Shelby, and it will play it for you. So until a new album comes out, that's what you can do.
Okay.
Say, Alexa, play Rita Shelby, searching Rita Shelby. And it will, now I don't know if I'm getting money from that, but it raises morale.
Two quick things because we're getting ready to run out of time.
Yes.
There's a Red Diamond Rose Award. It's sitting right there. Would you please hold on to this little guy and let us see what this is?
Yes, thank you so very much to you or to the camera, because this is a
camera.
hi there. I would like to truly thank Gail Gibson and the Multicultural International Motion Picture Association. I was among numerous honorees just a couple of weeks ago at the Beverly Hills Hilton, and I thank this organization. You talked about knowing people in Hollywood. Gail Gibson is one such person. I can get her on the phone. She will hear my heart. She will share my vision. And if she can roll up her sleeves to help to make that happen, she will do that. So she and the organization honored my body of work as an entertainment journalist and all the other hyphenates that I have in the industry.
You got a book there that you get putting out?
Yeah, so this is the book, On My Father's Side. So here's the thing, with me, it's not just the me show, it's the we show.
Right.
To say, oh, I did this, and oh, lovely, oh, and I remember the time. That's a beautiful thing. I want to use my life not only to tell more impactful stories, but to use those stories to empower other people. There is a little man who used to like to pick blackberries and collard greens in Canton, Mississippi. His name was Calvin Shelby. He hadn't seen his daughter for 40 years. He had a medical situation that happened to him that left him slightly compromised mentally. They thought he was crazy. He said, I have a daughter. Oh, man, you don't have a daughter. Yeah, man, I got a daughter. Her daughter is Rita. Oh, man, you're crazy. Oh, you're nuts. That was my daddy. They thought he was crazy until I showed up. On my father's side is that story. I honor my father with that, but I want to honor every little boy and every little girl, no matter what age they are now, who did not know what happened. And with God's grace, this will also be a feature film.
Wow.
So thank you for letting me share that.
And by the way, recently, March the 1st, something happened to you. What was that?
March the 1st honored another round the sun for me. Yes, I became another year wiser, and my clothes got a little tighter, and I visit the coloring aisle at Walgreens a little more often nowadays. That's what happened.
Well, thank you.
That was a birthday.
Before you leave, you know you're going to get one of these. You know you're going to get one of those.
Thank you so much for the treasure that you are, Ron.
Rita, I must admit, working with you over the years has indeed been a blessing to me, and I thank you so very, very much. It is a joy working with you, just knowing you. Thank you. By the way, I just got to ask you real quick, how do you want to be remembered?
Oh, gee, wow. How do I answer that quickly? Just like the old people said in church, let the work I've done speak for me.
Amen.
That's it.
This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Our special guest today, LaRita Shelby. Definitely. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography is an artist proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $200 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. Oh, and by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku, style, passion, heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. The book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half-century ago. Now, this experience produced within him a deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. That's lulu.com, and Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future. Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon, so please get your copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
That's 213-239-9675. Actors Space provides classes and private coaching by veteran actor Rob Brownstein. And Actors Space has Thursday night classes for working actors and Tuesday night foundation and technique classes for early career actors. The idea here is to build on each actor's strengths and who you are to help refine and reimagine your acting and your career. For more information, contact class at rbrownstein.com. That's robbrownstein.com, or you can call them at 323-646-1268, 323-646-1268. And finally, if you have a product, a service, or anything like that for an upcoming event, please give us a call at 323-533-1036 so we can have it on this show. Our prices are very affordable. Thank you. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
E a sua viagem, como está? Já conseguiu o resultado? Tem sido limitado, Sr. Costa. Taikor ficou surpreso com a minha visita.
Eu estou sendo honesto com você?
Não totalmente. Eles não mencionaram o financiamento do banco.
Eles mencionaram Jericó. Eles são cientes que nós sabemos disso.
Não disseram nada, não.
Você tem que forçá-los a falar sobre Jericó.
It's quite a career. Born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, he has participated and seen a lot of events. He's been a part of music, politics, played soccer at 8, became a behavior professor at 20. I could go on and on and on. So let's hear it from him. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mayuto Correa. Did I say that right?
Mayuto Correa.
Okay. Sir, you have been, we got 24 minutes, but we got a lot to talk about. Please tell us where, how, and when did you get your justified career that got you started in this business?
Yes, I was like in Brazil. When I was 11, I was an actor in a duo, me and a gal in school, and we became like known in the city because the clubs started to book us, and the name is Shushu is the gal, and I was playing an old man, and I called Rusted Old Man, and of course I had to put on my hair together, everything. Anyway, so I still play that guy today, but today they call it the Lonely Man, which is like it's an IMDb, you can see that.
Yes.
So I played an old man since I was very young. So that's it. But then that was it. And music came like a year later. But I was 11. Music came like when I was home, and somebody asked me, "Can you sub me as a percussionist?" He broke a leg.
Yes.
And I said yes. Then I went. But then he decided to buy a cab and become a taxi driver.
Gotcha.
And then he gave me the instrument. I continued to play from 12 in a big band of, let's say, everybody with 30, 36. Could be my father, pretty much, most of them. And then that's it. So it started. And then after that, I never stopped playing with a lot of people.
Wow. You went to school. How were you able to conciliate all the work that you had? A lot of work.
Well, it's like I'm very, till today, I'm very concentrated in things that I do. I was called older man for my family, even though I was the youngest, because of my way of being. I mean, that was it, because I'm very, until today, extremely, well, today I'm an older man. But at that time...
How old are you, sir?
But at that time, I was young, but very concentrated. Like, let's say, I was a collector of citizens of Reader's Digest when I was in my teens, you know what I mean? Behavior was began to be like my passion from when I was a children, a child. Gotcha. I mean, children's time. So then that was like a segue to become like what I was doing that way. But the theater, was also part of the behavior. So then I became an artistic director very young with a university in Brazil as a artistic director. So that was behavior. And then music and drum, was everything happens to me. Today, like I do say, he knows I teach. He's an actor today, my students here. Excellent, he's an actor now. But I teach people art is one light that goes in beams in every direction. And if you really think that way, you can be all that, all the things that you want.
God is good, and how I met this gentleman, I was minding my own business, and I was putting together the show, and someone who was scheduled to be here, they just didn't show. They called me and canceled the show, which happens all the time. It happens all the time. We never really show who until we actually get in the studio on the day of that we're going to do the show when it actually happens. Anyway, I see this message from you.
Yeah.
I said, "What is this?" I'm looking at my computer. What is this? Let me call this guy. And I called you, and that's how we got together.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. He does that all the time.
I have to give a credit to someone why I'm here too. Quickly, just give a credit.
Please.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Oh, of course.
That's it. Because he is the one that put you together. Because I just got an award of best jazz jazz album.
Right.
15 days ago. Everything happened so I mean, amazingly, abruptly, and good.
Yes.
My music spread throughout the world. And then we gave a call when nothing to do with what has been happening through the other side. And we got me to think, you gave a call from something that's completely different than like you saw something that was sent to you as my PR sent to you. And then I sent to because it's sent to a lot of people.
Got you.
But then you got it there. I said, wait a minute. And then I asked you, you came from my something about my award? It said, no. And then I said, that's Jesus, because of me. Only him can do that.
Amen.
He's very happy about it.
Yes,
And I know you.
Yes.
I saw your work.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be here.
Well, Mayuto, you in your teens, you had music, acting. At the same time, you were also on the national soccer team.
Yeah. Soccer team came out of my father. My father, we were very good players. Brazil, there's a lot of good players, and Brazil. Right. Brazil is very soccer is thing. So since I was 8, and my brother and I, we were making money, 50 cruzeiros at that time when it was 8. I was 8. My brother was 10. And we make money for that. So my father was very connected with some people. Like Flamengo is the number 1 team of Brazil until today. And Flamengo is champion of everything. The world champion. Flamengo got everything. I played so my father took to Flamengo when I was 16. When I was 16, he said, very proud of me and my brother. Walked to the place, and there were all the people there, the directors, and he said, this is my son and my 2 sons, and they are great players. And then I got there immediately, and my brother didn't stay with that team. They went to another team. He went to another team there. So at that time, the national team was really happening. So the coach of Flamengo was also the coach of the national team. So he took me straight to the national team because when I made the train and with the whole thing, said, you got it. I was at the national team, he's under 17. Because and my brother coincidentally played with the Pelé in the national team. Later, Pelé. Pelé is a very good friend of mine. Yeah. We are very good friends. My brother played with the Pelé coincidentally in another situation, but through different situations, through the army. So then anyway, then I ended up playing with the national team too, and my brother, and that's it. So my life. But I have a lot of people in the family, 5 or 6 that were professional soccer players and coaches, and so it's Brazil is very common.
But you also later made a move to Mexico too.
Yeah, I had to make a move to Mexico because by the time that in '69. I was already in a university as a writer and director and producing, teaching. And then I also was a musician. And I also to play writing for the newspapers, like I saw you in my bio, I'm sure. And so the dictatorship started in 1964.
Right.
So by 68, many of the writers, many of the actors and directors or whoever, we were all being, pressured by the generals. And he stopped me on a television show alive. One general called. I don't say much about that because they're still there. They're probably not there as much, but the lieutenants are there. And today they are generals probably. I don't say much. But he stopped me. Stopped me in the TV, live TV. If you don't stop, to the director, if you don't stop with Martin, stop singing this song right now, I will close the station. You are fired, going to be in jail. You and he going to be in jail. So then happens a lot of that. So I went back to Brazil 10 years later. They still pushed me around, and then I also went ahead of them. I never been in jail because of them. And I don't know what happened to people who go to jail. I don't want to say that here because I cannot even mention that about me. That's why I came here. So then I took an airplane and I came to Mexico.
Wow.
And because I was quick, I have to get out of Brazil. I could not even get the visa from the United States. I went to Mexico to come here and spent about 8 months in Mexico and came to the United States. And the rest is history because when I came here was heaven for me.
Sir, as I look at your chronology, you were fast moving. And in fact, in 1970, you, as a musician, you were doing the music of MASH.
Yeah, MASH. MASH is it was looking back. It's like amazing because I even thinking how I came in '69, right? So, but that was like everything. Like I say, I think I give credit to God for everything because I mean, who am I to do what I do? Because I got masters because like they were like I was the first, became the longest probably comedy ever. But when it started, I had an agent. I had a beautiful, fantastic agent. Probably Jean Levy was my agent.
I've heard that name.
You know Jean Levy is like Nancy Wilson, Billy Paul, Cannonball, everybody. So he was my agent too, my manager. So I got a lot of stuff through him.
As I was doing my research, I see that you have 15 IMBD credits as a musician. I mean, you did MASH, you did Homeboys, you did a lot of stuff that you did out there. Some of the people that you worked with, I'm going to drop a few names in for just a moment. Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Henry Mancini, Harry Belafonte, Marvin Gaye, Neil Sedaka, The Temptations, Sammy Davis Jr., Sarah Vaughan, Etta James, and it just goes on and on. All these people you worked with.
Yeah,
my goodness.
I'm so honored because I mean those are beautiful people. Sarah Vaughan, I mean she was my friend. She would, all those people. Berta Correa, friend of mine. Everybody, became my friend. And I my life is really in that way. I feel very good about because so many great people are there. Harry Belafonte is perfectionist, incredible person. I mean, I love them. I love all them.
Now, there's a gentleman by the name, you know him, Leonard Feather. He's now deceased. British-born jazz pianist and composer. He says that you are in hundreds of albums that were taped here in this country.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's true. Because I was there years ago, in the late 70s, I was doing an interview for KPFK, another station.
Oh, yes.
And somebody asked me that question, at that time, how many albums you record so far? Then I said, I don't know, because then one musicologist called in. I'm sure they have that on a record because that interview was kind of very serious interview. And that the guy said to me, you did more than 8,000 titles, meaning 8,000 songs, because titles are songs. So that means like pretty much like hundreds of albums. Yeah. So he confirmed that with me. But anyway, Leonard Feather, he knew he did. I'm in encyclopedia. He wrote the encyclopedia. Yes. I'm in those encyclopedias too. Wow. So I mean, that's why he said that. Yes.
Yeah. When Leonard Feather said something, it was
it's true.
Yes.
In jazz,
no jive.
In jazz,
yes.
This is the guy.
Got you. Other stuff you did, you worked on Shaft. You worked on Trouble Man, Marvin Gaye, Beretta, Chips, fantastic. I mean, and also the MASH 30th anniversary reunion.
Yeah.
Ouch. You're a busy guy.
Well.
Wow. Now you okay? This is, as you know, this is a show about acting, but let's take a few moments here to talk about your acting career.
Okay.
We opened up with what was that, Redeemed, that movie?
Uh-huh.
And that was the third movie you did in 2014. You played the character of Mr. Costa.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us how that was?
Well, that was like I was guessing, like my agent sent me to do that. I mean, for an audition, I went there. I got it, and coincidentally, I didn't know that the producer of that was a Brazilian producer, and I know that. And then I met the producer, of course, later on. But I mean, when I got the part, I was very happy because I remember exactly the moment that I got the part, because when I did, somebody there clapping with my part, and usually don't do that. Usually don't do like those people are very very settled. They don't clap when you feel doing audition, and the director and whatever who was there, they oh man! And when I went home, my agent said, when I got home, my agent said, "You got the part." So that was I'm glad to do that. It was a very good movie. Mr. Costa was like a CEO of Brazilian, of a corporation, world corporation, and it was a very good. I had a lot of power in that, in this movie, right? I couldn't fire, couldn't hire, couldn't. So anyway, it was, but I was very straight, very. I think it was a good part.
And let's not forget another film you did called Green Card. What was that like?
Green
Card.
Well, Green Card, I wrote, direct, I did everything. Green Card, I wrote, direct, and act. So Green Card came like, was inspiration about like the government right now, the situation about the problem, the conflicts about the people like being American, being documents here. And I put a comedy in a way, but a very kind of a way solid and cold in a way, hard comment. Okay. Comment. So they became like, and then I was like liked by a lot of people. Then Adler, the distribution, liked it. She called me one day. She would understand me, Mr. Correa. I think your film is very good for us to distribute. I said, oh my God, that's great. That was about a few months ago, 6 months ago. And I said, oh, wow. And when I saw who was calling me, I felt very good.
Mayuto, we got a short clip of Green Card. We have a short clip of Green Card. Can you please roll it, Tony?
Yeah.
It all seeker. Make happy bicycle expenses. What is the money? Where is the money?
Why?
Oh, my leg.
Wow, that is marvelous. Oof. That was something else.
Thank you.
Green Card.
Yeah.
The term is very significant. Would you let us know where did the term Green Card come from?
Well, the green card, like first of all, the green card comes from exactly the green card. If we to come to America, like you have to have a green card.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. When you become totally legal, you have to have a green card.
Yes.
You come with like a visa with like H2, whatever, to play or something, to do something, then you go back to your country. But when you get a green card, then you have then you become like a resident, an official resident. And after that, so you can become a citizenship. But it is a roller coaster for you to get to that situation. A lot of people take 20 years trying to become a citizenship, actually trying to get the green card. And that's why a lot of people get illegal because, they don't get the document. Well, green card is the one thing that gives you heaven in America.
Yes.
You become a legal. And that's why it's so complicated whether the actual situation right now, political situation right now to be here. I decided to do the film to make sure if in the end of the film, somebody like give me go to my house and I'm in trouble because somebody is insulting me, and they give me that thing, and then I just show that to the bad guy, and the bad guy look and leave this thing and run. So therefore, that a lot of people like that because I've been given like my critic without talking too much about the president, about whatever, whoever is doing something wrong in that situation, preventing people to working here or doing that film says something about it. That's all.
Got you. You also, before we have just a few more minutes, you wrote, directed, produced, and starred in a short film called The Appointment.
Yeah, The Appointment. He is the star.
Okay.
The Appointment. He is the star. My colleague now. So but I wrote. Did the whole thing. Yeah, I did the whole thing. And it's like we are now in final stages of the post production.
Okay. Two quick questions before we get out of here. How old are you, sir?
Today, I'm 77. This is my birthday.
Congratulations. Happy birthday. You don't look 77.
This was who brought me here is Jesus Christ. Right. Everything put together.
We just got to say, we got to get you back here again. Time flies when you're having fun. One quick question. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to remember. Well, I want to remember as a man that did everything possible to help the needy people. That's the one thing. Like a behavior, So I have a commendation from the Mayor Bradley, you know, because I help the homeless. My father helped the homeless. You know, I help whoever's in need. They have no voice. I come in and I try to be the voice of whoever there's no voice. That's what I want to remember that way.
Thank you. Thank you.
My father was like that. I want to be like. If I have a shadow of my father, I will be happy.
Excellent. Can I have your hand, please? I'm going to give you this. This is my trademark. I give people a silver dollar for good luck.
Oh, my God. That's
luck.
like a...
Thank you.
Treasure that.
Definitely. Special thanks to our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm Agent Carla Green, and Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. And much, much thanks to our guest today, actress LaRita Shelby, an actor, producer, director, he's a musician. He's got a lot of things behind him. Mayuto Correa. And, of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.